Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
And welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stubborn, the Lord of Laughter, Old Man Wade. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. To my left is my lovely life, the Valkyrie.
Hey.
With a normal enthusiasm, which is actually more than usual because she's talking through a wine glass. And to my right, I have the award-winning host of the Thursday Throwdown podcast.
That's right, it's me, Patsy, the award-winning nerd, and my co-host in life and my co-host on the show, the mistress of Merlot, the Real Housewife of Transylvania, the Michael Phelps of wine, and the Queen of Monsters, the award-winning Ashes Von Nightmare.
Hello, everyone. I'm still here.
So allow me, you'll be kicking off the...
I love that he has to give the introduction. That makes my life. I'm sorry.
And welcome to the Summer of Sex on the Old Man Wade Show.
Everybody's getting laid.
Everybody, we're all getting laid!
Good news, everyone.
So,
That's amazing.
so before we...
I'm dying right
She's
now.
shooting wine out her nose.
So before we get into the summer sex and the sex conversation we have on, we started talking about, we had a break between the last episode and this one. And I don't know if I've ever told this story on air, but I think it's kind of funny to actually tell. The story of how me and the Valkyrie met. So, a buddy of mine, who's been on the show before, Florida man Jeff,
He sounds like a superhero. Florida man. Have you been to Florida?
Investigators,
Have you been to Florida?
professionally.
Be a superhero to live there. Not to. I've connected flights in Florida, but that's don't stop. About as far as I've been.
you ain't missing nothing. So, you guys know what a wingman is, right?
Absolutely.
Alright, so...
I'm an excellent wig woman, by the way, if anyone is looking. So good at it. Me too.
She is.
I think we were separated at birth.
It's
Maybe.
a-
Are we twins?
like Ebony and Ivory.
Ebony and I.
Side by side on that piano. Keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we?
Part of it was a Photoshop of two of you guys as stepbrothers.
Oh my God! Did we just become best friends?
So I owed Jeff a wingman because this woman I was trying to fuck had a friend who was in town and she was like, I need someone to keep her occupied, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So the way my friend Jeff describes it is she looked like a minotaur. Not a centaur, a minotaur.
I'm sorry. I feel like I need to digest that segment for just a moment. A minotaur.
A minotaur.
A minotaur. Okay.
So, did she have the lady part on top or the lady part on bottom? Was she like bull on top?
Bull on top.
Okay, bull on top, lady part on bottom.
Definitely bull on top.
Well, from what you were saying, the lady part was what you were interested in anyway.
Oh no, not the woman I was not the woman I was trying to court.
It was court.
That's a different word.
I was trying to play one-on-one.
I like my sex the way I like my basketball. One-on-one and with as little dribbling as possible.
So, fast forward a couple years later, he hits me up and goes, hey, I need you to get me into this club where I worked at. There was a bunch of bars around there. In this particular bar, I knew all the bouncers, the bartenders, and they used to just let me in for free. They used to literally just walk me into the bar. And I was like, nah, I'm hanging out with my friend, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, no, you're coming because you owe me. And I'm like, fuck. So
Who made me fuck a minotaur?
No, let me tell you why I'm even this
Now we have
insulting.
little bull babies.
little bull babies. So we
Wait, Bull. Isn't that the guy that the Celtics just drafted?
No, they were gonna draft him, but he went to Indiana? I forget. Manute Bull's son.
there really is this kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bull.
Bull. So he says, you gotta do this. So I'm alright, fine. So I meet him up at the bar. They let us in. They know me. Whatever. And I walk in and I'm looking for he's looking for the woman he's trying to. He was
dating her at the time.
He was dating her.
He was dating her.
So he was dating her at the time, and he said to me that he needed me to play wingman for the other two women that were there. One of the two women happened to be Maria. Now, Maria, tell your side of the story. Everything that goes on before that.
Okay, so me and my cousin and my best friend who is a man, it's a guy, his name is Pat.
This comes up later.
We were going into Boston for dinner and then to go out to the club. So I was dressed in a very scantily clad outfit because, I was going to a nightclub, so I was wearing a shirt that was like 2 strips and some tight pants, like, because
as you do.
I was like thin and beautiful then. And
a few well-placed tassels.
exactly, like, maybe a little nip slip will happen, maybe not, you're not sure.
I was waiting. There was no nip slip. I was waiting for it.
There was no nip slip. Listen, I taped that bitch down.
Double sided tape is a blessing.
I was a classy bitch. I was keeping those titties in check. I'm not gonna pay a lot of money to see this.
I was like one of those hookers you had to save up for.
That's right. I was a call girl, not a hooker. Totally different.
Part of me is mad that I can't put titties in the search because iTunes is gonna be like, yeah, please rename your podcast.
Your podcast. But so
I'll probably take it for SoundCloud one.
my car broke down. Do you know where, like, if you folks are not from this area, like Quincy, the water tower, the Rainbow Water Tower is when you're coming to Boston, right?
Yeah.
So it was before I lived in Boston. So I was driving towards there, and my car went from going 80 and dropped down to 20 in a matter of seconds, and I had to get over 4 lanes. And a state trooper had to bump me down that off ramp. And I don't know if you've ever been down there, but there's a lot of real hookers down there.
Yeah.
And junkies. It's great.
And junkie hookers.
And junkie hookers. So
Suck your dick for a dime!
my cousin.
You're a towel.
My cousin, essentially, yes. My cousin calls her friend Rachel, who his friend Jeff happened to be dating, and said, hey, we're stuck on the side of the road. We were supposed to go out in Boston. Do you want to come meet us? Like, we're going to go out. We're going to have a night. Can you come pick us up? And Rachel was like, getting dressed. Let's go. Balls to the wall. So Rachel comes down. She picks us up. I'm devastated. My car has to be towed, like, whatever. We don't get to go to dinner. We go straight to the nightclub, and me and my cousin proceed to take 7 shots of tequila at the bar.
Wait a minute, so you didn't have dinner?
I was gonna say,
No.
skipping dinner
And then you
before
had
having
7 shots of tequila at the nightclub. God bless you. So we're like, fuck it, we're just gonna go to the club. We get to the club, me and my cousin are like, so she meets Jeff. No.
Oh no, hold on. So I walk in. So Jeff is about 5'8", really dark.
On a good day.
It's okay. I'm 5'3" on a good day, so it's okay. I get that.
So don't say what she said, but so
No, I won't.
So she said something, and Maria's cousin.
No,
said
well,
something.
this was after the 7 shots of tequila.
Well, now I want to know what she said.
Yeah,
So, okay,
I'll tell you after.
I won't spew it out. I'm mixed. My cousin is blonde, 5'11", blue-eyed. Like, we look nothing alike at all. We're 6 months apart. We're literally best friends. And she asked a very not okay question in a not okay way because she thought her little friend Rachel, who was tiny, was being accosted by these 2 black men in a corner.
I saw a porno like that once. It was fantastic.
So my cousin said something inappropriate, and I was like, Jamie, I think that's Rachel's boyfriend, Jeff, and his friend Mark, that she talked to us about. And she goes, oh, okay.
Did I do a
Like an asshole. She's like, I didn't know if it was somebody trying to, like, whatever. Like, yeah, no, it was one of those. And my cousin was like, all right, my bad, I fucked up. Like, so bad.
Oh, man.
So bad.
I did a racism.
Yes, she did. No, she did. I love her to death, but she did. She did. I mean, Rachel too was this tiny little like blonde. Like no, Rachel.
I'm
like,
trying really hard not to
strawberry
snort on
blonde,
the podcast right now.
Have you heard the show? It's not gonna take anything away from the professionalism that is my show.
She was like a dancer, like a ballerina, not a stripper.
Like an actor,
So whatever. Like this is where my cousin's mind went. That clearly she must have been being accosted by these two men.
Oh my, those dark-skinned gentlemen seem to be causing trouble.
That's what happened. Essentially.
No. I need that to be said clear as day. Patsy, can you please say that again?
Oh my, seems them dark-skinned gentlemen is causing trouble for our friend over yonder.
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh God. Okay, so all right. So this goes on. I see Maria, cleavage in tow, and I'm like, oh,
What, like in toe, like camel toe, or like no? There is no camel toe.
No, titties and mundo, and I was like,
I will say, your wife does have a very nice
I have huge boobs, and like when I was thin, they were still the same size. So like she hadn't changed.
So you're beautiful regardless. So
thank you for coming with that.
Oh my, that young woman has bountiful cleavage.
What was it? Dear God, I feel I have the vapors.
I'm a little jealous right now. I'm like, oh hey, I'm president.
Perhaps I should retire from the land and have
sitting over
another
there.
Julum. Oh.
So,
Dear me, it's good to own land.
He's Jamie.
oh my God. So anyway, right? So Maria walks around the corner, titties is out, and I'm just like, oh, I'm fucking her. So this is when like I'm like, so this is like when I'm like, all I want to do is
Mine
fuck.
was a whore.
Yeah, I spent
Like a hardcore whore.
I spent 4 years
Banging everything.
everything.
There's a woman that he won't even tell us her name.
Oh, I banged 0.
He won't tell us who it is. He swears to God he told me and his best friend when we were drunk. I don't believe him. His best friend doesn't believe him.
Don't care. I said it. I was sober.
But he won't tell anybody who this woman is. That it was so bad.
Yep. So anyway,
He banged everything.
so we're talking or whatever, and then she goes, "Today's my birthday," and she said this over and over in classic drunk.
7 shots of tequila.
Oh my God, today's my birthday.
Yes.
Just like that, actually.
7 shots of tequila.
My eyes are up here!
No, there was none of that.
No.
Because
Oh
she
my
literally-
God, did you know that today was my birthday?
And then, in between reminding me that it was her birthday, she kept reminding me that her boobs were real.
Oh my God, did you know that it was my birthday and my boobs are real?
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, it's just like that.
It's my real boobs day!
I wonder if iTunes will take that.
No, it's true. But then my best friend, well, I can say our best friend now because Mark has weaseled his way into my best friend's world.
Well,
As it happens.
Oh, no, it was before that.
Yeah, no, it was way before that. My best friend was with us. So like Mark was gonna hit on me and then he like saw me with my best friend and he was like, oh, never mind, she like has a boyfriend. She's just like drunk.
I was
like,
a hoe,
whatever.
but I was respectable.
And he was like, I'm not gonna leave her alone. So he like my cousin like literally like dry humped him for the night.
The one who said those things.
Dry humped my now husband for the night. She danced with him all night.
Slow dance with me at the end of the night.
Yes. And then, like, as we were leaving, so 7 shots of tequila, and I was drinking Captain and Coke for the remainder of the night, separate from the 7 shots of tequila.
Wow, you make good choices.
So, no, yeah. In my 20s, I made excellent choices.
Didn't we all?
Excellent
Just a
choices.
disclaimer,
I only
didn't we
passed
all?
a few times.
So
we were.
Hold on. So we're leaving the bar, and we're leaving the club, excuse me, and we're walking them back to their car. And I say to the guy, Pat, I go, hey, funny. I say to Pat, I'm like, hey, just so you know, man.
Not this one.
Not this
No,
one.
not me.
I said, hey, I didn't know this was your girlfriend. My apologies. Once I realized that was your girl, I stopped hitting on her. I just want to let you know that I respect the, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I appreciate you saying that. But he goes, but that's not my girlfriend. I go, oh, really?
Thank you, kind honky.
Essentially.
I didn't know he was white.
His name is Patrick.
Patrick Beverly.
I was going to say Patrick Beverly.
I'm kidding!
Patrick McCaw.
So we're leaving and walk to the car. So Maria is hitting on me hardcore and she's shit-faced. And I have a rule. I won't have sex with a drunk woman. I won't.
That is very classy and commendable.
I tried really hard.
She did. And so she goes,
I just wanted to hit it and quit it.
one of my favorite, let me tell you, one of my,
I mean, very classy and commendable.
So let me tell you, I said to her, I was like,
25-year-old Maria.
so she's like, I'm going,
It happens.
one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten from someone. I'm waiting till you finish drinking, so because you're going to snort out when I tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
We're drunk, she goes, I'm going to go home and masturbate to you. So
You're like, me too.
I went home and passed
oh yeah,
out.
totally went to a mirror and masturbated to myself. So
Oh, you're so fucking hot.
Hail, Midway. Want to break the fourth wall?
this would have sounded like after I finished coming. Why?
I am the god of war.
Why was that? I don't know. But so we're driving back home, and I say to my buddy Jeff, I'm like, "Hey, call Rachel, make sure she gets to know." He goes, "That's a great idea." And so he calls her. He goes, "Oh, they're still driving back." And so I hear rah, 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 in the background, and Jeff's like, "Hold on, hey Mark," I go, "What up?" Maria wants to know if she can have birthday sex, and I hear, "I want birthday sex."
Wasted. I was like laying on my best friend's lap in the back seat, just yelling out profanities.
And so I go, "Is she still drunk?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Then that's a no. I'm all set." So I get back home. The next day, I find her on MySpace. That's how old this is. Find her on MySpace, and I send her.
Friendster.
Oh God. Capture.com. Only a few people will get that right. Well, next year everyone who listens to the show will get that. So I sent her a friend request. She denied it.
Because I don't remember who the fuck he was.
Who the fuck
I was
is that?
so drunk. I was like, who's this thirsty asshole? I don't know who the fuck this thirsty is. No idea. Like, literally, when I woke up the next day and I saw it, I was like, I don't even know who the fuck this dude is. Like, deleted it. Because drunk Maria and, like, sober Maria are two different people.
That's
I feel that. I completely 100% feel that, yes.
Yeah.
Drunk Maria is DTF. The sober Maria is like, who the fuck is this loser?
No, I get that. I completely get
You
that,
must
yes.
be this tall to ride this ride.
I was like, who is this guy? I don't even know him. He's stalking my MySpace.
My body is a temple. I don't just give away the keys to my kingdom to anyone.
Exactly.
Certainly not on my birthday.
You must follow the maze, and with the middle of the maze is my vagina.
Right? It's Legends of the Hidden Temple, and you must be over monkeys.
I like that.
You must decide for a series of clues, each more diabolical than the last.
There will be a series of tests.
In order, you must enter the middle of 3 if you want to get to my vajayjee. So
Essentially.
To overcome the spider's curse, simply quote a Bible verse.
So long story short, which isn't gonna happen. So a couple weeks later, she says, no, not even a couple weeks. A week later, she says she's with Rachel, and she says to Rachel, and my buddy Jeff with him, he goes, "Oh hey, how's your friend?" And a friend of my buddy Jeff hits me up. He goes, "Hey, Maria wants to know how you were." And my exact response was, "Well, she know how it was. She accepted my friend request."
Oh.
I didn't give a fuck. Bold move. She goes, "Oh blah blah," and now we're together. We're married. All right.
I'll teach that motherfucker who's what.
So all right.
I literally didn't remember who he
know
was.
who the fuck
It's
I
not
was.
his fault.
All right. We'll be right back, and I gotta go take a leak, and then we'll begin the summer of sex.
Don't take one of mine.
And we're back at the Old Man Wade Show. I want to thank Ashes Von Nightmare, the award-winning Thursday Throwdown. Is it Thursday Throwdown, right?
Throwdown Thursday.
I always get that fucking back.
Yes.
The Throwdown Thursday podcast.
Just remember that you throw down on Thursdays.
Phrasing, boom!
Throwdown Thursday podcast, the award-winning Throwdown Thursday podcast.
We did win awards.
We tried.
An award.
We tried.
So I wanted to get into
The summer of sex.
the summer of sex. So we're gonna begin the summer of sex. Do you guys know what Dick Yelp is?
Dick Yelp. Yes!
Yelp.
I heard about this.
I only know what it is because of your show.
Okay, I literally had no idea that Dick Yelp was a thing.
I didn't realize it was okay, so it's been a long time since I was on online dating. Now, I did do online dating for a bit of time, and that's how I met Patsy the Angry Nerd.
Did you meet her on Dick Yelp?
No, it was
That was
on
the
a
thing.
I wish it was a thing at the time. It would be so fucking helpful.
Yeah.
But no. Jokes on you. But no, we met on a site called OkCupid, which at the time I called OkStupid, because I was not taking it seriously at all, and it was free, so I didn't have to take it seriously. But we met and things happened, and now we are legally bound to each other, and
In the irrevocable shackles of holy
I
match.
have to deal with that. So anyways, but no, I did not know of Dick Yelp until your show.
So Joe Budden was talking about Dick Yelp on his podcast, and a couple of them were given Dick Yelps, and I decided that it would be funny.
Can you explain to me what Dick Yelp is, though?
Yelp for dicks.
So literally, do women go on there and they're like, Sean Green's dick was so small?
Yes.
But
Do we get names, zip codes, like?
right, like, do we get like inches and girls and like
It was like a peanut.
time allotted, and like, you know, did he greet me with a fresh mint on his pillow?
Well, here's the funny thing about it
Or
is I have Dick Yelp up right now.
oh hey,
Wait, it's still a thing?
It's a Twitter thing.
Wait, so you literally can Yelp someone's dick on Twitter?
Yes.
I'm sold.
So let me tell you some of the classics.
0 of 10 would not blow again.
So one of the questions was, so have any of y'all ever fucked a pastor? I'm curious.
Like a pastor, like is it a
Yes.
church, like
Yes.
Jesus? Okay.
I feel like that's a Fleabag situation right there.
Yes.
Oh my god, did you watch that? Did you watch the most recent season?
Yes.
The Hot Priest?
Yes.
Like, so we watched the
I
most
don't
recent 3 episodes of Black Mirror, and the second episode.
No, because there's going to be a Black Mirror, so me and Patrick talked about that.
No. I was gonna say though, the second episode has the Hot Priest from Fleabag, and I was like, and he
I know
was
what
like,
those words are,
hey,
but that sentence makes no sense.
this episode seems interesting, and I was like, I was sitting there and I was like puzzlingly looking
priest is
at,
in Fleabag?
and
Yes.
the Hot Priest
Jesus.
from the
From
second
Fleabag.
episode of Fleabag
He was the one with the gun.
yes, he is the one with the gun.
I did not.
Of the Smithereens episode of the most recent season
Mirror.
of Black Mirror.
See,
Yes. So I was
didn't
saying
think it was all
that,
that
and he
hot.
was like,
He just
oh
looked like
hey,
random
like he's just
DC
watching this
person.
He was kind of
episode
a prostitute.
for what it is, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh hey,
Have you seen the
that's
third
the
episode?
Hot Priest from Fleabag.
That's
I think the reason why
that's
he's-
the Marvel DC crossover that we've been looking for.
I think that he's the hot priest because like he's a priest in that show, and you're like,
But he's also hot.
yeah, like
And
I'll go ask the gunman.
Wait. Y'all are going completely off the rails. We're talking about Dick Yelp here.
Okay, Dick
Yelp.
Yes, so that is a legit thing.
Well, they're on their 3rd bottle of wine.
So I figured it would be fun to read
Yes.
some Dick Yelp tweets.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The priest.
Let's see. We met a while ago in Vegas, and I'm telling you, his dick made me fall in love. He's 2 fire emojis, and his body is on point. He has the perfect sized dick, at least for me. It's not too big, to the point I'd be hurting. Length and width is perfect. He's got to have a good 9 inches on him. The only thing he didn't give good was head. He gave me head a couple of times. What? People can't write. He gave me head a couple of times, but you can't tell it's not his thing. Oh God, this is where it gets great. He went to jail for a while, came back with better dick. No, it's not done yet. He would fly me out wherever he was, and literally all he would do was have sex. The only thing I would say is if anybody fucks him, be careful, because he doesn't wear condoms. I never got anything for him, but he definitely gets around. 9 out of 10 stars.
So is this a review called Orange is the New Black?
Orange is the New
By
Black.
any chance?
Wait, but like, how do you know whose dick she's talking about? Is
Oh,
it
she
like,
put the person's name on it.
Oh, okay.
so I can look up like Eddie from Utah. Like,
I don't know how much the Mormons are getting around.
a lot apparently. They have like 7 lives.
Yeah, but
Well, the Amish do have that vacation that they get to take.
Rumspringa or whatever.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Rumspringa.
So, here's another one. I met his fine ass on Tinder. We met at his bar during NFL playoffs and got super drunk. We walked to his place and is blocks away from his bar. And when I tell y'all his dick was like fried chicken and hot sauce, so good. And I can't get enough.
She put ranch dressing on it? Like, she does remind me of like a down south, like...
ranch dressing and hot sauce. Yes! And hot sauce.
Okay, hold on. First and foremost, it's big and thick. He's circumcised, which is always a plus. He beat it, then eat it. He is so nasty. He talks you through the orgasm, and it sounds so good doing it. He has full lips and knows how to kiss so well, all while snatching souls.
All while snatching souls.
And he looks so good. He looks good. He looks good as fuck. I'm sorry, I can't read kids' lingo. And he looks good as fuck. So what the fuck is wrong with this shit? Okay, ladies, he during missionary. What? Ladies, whatever. Oh, he pays attention to everything. Oh, sorry, it was 2 different things. He pays attention to everything during missionary. Super seductive. Also, he works out so he's solid. He has nice strong pecs, which is perfect platform for your hands for riding his dick.
Wait.
And if you thick or got some weight on you, you good. This dude's stroke, let's say Drew by the way, stroke is so strong, S-K-R-O-G. So no need to hold back. And I almost forgot, the pussy eating skills are immaculate. My thighs were left wet from how nasty he was in the head alone. 10 from 10. 5-star dick sis. 5 motherfucking stars. 6 for extra credit.
Where are these women from? I love it.
All over the fuck.
Strong. His dick was so strong. Strong.
S-K-R-O.
It reminds me of this episode of Sex and the City. Ooh,
You're literally making my day right now. Okay.
where Charlotte dates this. Excuse me. Trying to be classy here. Charlotte dates this guy who's.
I'm wondering.
Strong dick.
I'm wondering if they're gonna accept strong dick.
His name is Mr. Pussy. And
I remember that.
Right? His name is like Mitchell Capone or something. Why
God, this is the greatest thing ever.
Do you eat cold potatoes?
No. I drink rosé and all of a sudden, like, I'm super
Again, you guys are on your 3rd bottle of wine.
This is the greatest thing ever.
I don't know what's happening.
So Charlotte dates this guy, and he's known as
Man, this wine is really strong.
Mr. Pussy, and you don't date him because he's really undateable. Like she tries to date him, but he doesn't really have much of a personality.
Yeah.
Like, he loves going on women.
Hiccuping is not making any fucking better. Dear
Not making it any less bad.
Why did I hiccups? No, oh my god. I sound like someone who's never drunk wine before. Like, I'm a fucking professional. But anyways, he's not dating material. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Like,
But he gives a good blowjob.
right, like he
Do
gives
women call those blowjobs?
blowjob. He gives a good blowjob. But like, and she even meets women in the bathroom who are like, oh yeah, I've Mitch Saylor, that is his name.
How did you remember that?
She watches it every fucking day.
Yeah, Sex and the City is like my favorite show of all time. Like the way
Did you watch the Carrie Diary?
The way I did.
It was not great. Yeah.
After, so obviously I watched Sex and the City first, and then read the book that it was.
Candace Bushnell.
It was based on, thanks to Candace Bushnell. I'm trying so hard to be reputable.
I am moving.
My body is just like, no, bitch. Like you're not doing that.
If you chug the wine, it will make the hiccups go away. She's gonna chug the wine!
What's she? If she ain't driving?
I was just kidding! I mean, it might make the hiccups go away.
Oh my god.
Are you Jericho?
No, she's me in my 20s.
No,
it's fine. Just do it.
I'm me in my 20s right now.
Long story short, follow Dick Yelp. Dick Yelp reviews, because these are some of the greatest things ever.
But like here's the thing: if you're gonna get off, you want to know what you're getting off to.
Let me just tell you. All right, Patrick, can you answer my question?
I can do that.
Do you give a fuck about your Dick Yelp?
No.
Like, wait, like if you had a dick Yelp?
I don't.
Well, I mean, like he's been married for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I've been with her for 10 years, so. I mean, I get face-to-face Dick Yelp.
Does she tell you it's like 5 stars or like?
Well, I mean, like we are not unverbal.
Yes.
In our relations.
I know when things are going well, and I know when things aren't going well.
Okay, fair.
Oh, okay. Why don't we try this instead? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. You're the king. All right.
I don't think I've ever uttered those words.
No,
just
but
right. But
no, I'm just trying to go for like the tone of voice, like, ooh, baby. Yep. Okay. You done? Let me try something. That's basically how it goes. Like, yeah, I'm doing my best. And it's like, your best is an idiot.
Your best sucks. Your best is my worst.
We also have a friend who delves into the world of sex toys.
Adult novelties.
Adult novelties, yes.
I did find the writing credit the other day.
She's great. Horrible radio right
now. You know those little silicone rings that you can get that have like fake jewels on them?
Yes.
You know, and they light up and stuff. I was cleaning our bedroom a couple of weeks ago, and I found one of those, and for a minute I was like, oh shit, I'm like, why is this still lit? Wow, this battery is still lit. Oh right, this is a ring for your finger. This isn't one of those other
That isn't one of those other rings?
Yeah. We have a friend who sells those kind of toys, and we
own some.
We're not afraid to delve into those kind of toys.
That's fair.
Just remember, don't yuck someone else's yum.
I mean, I don't sex shame anyone.
Speaking of Provincetown from earlier, we were there. We went to the Toys of Eros
The sex toy shop there. Yeah,
And we
yeah.
bought a riding crop.
Okay.
And one of the on the outside of the box, it was like, oh, glass end suitable for insertion. And I'm like, well, that's great. I mean, not my thing.
But whatever.
And the guy was like, oh, do you ride? And she's like, yeah, just not horses.
Perfect.
But see, we've had this issue where, like, and I don't know if other folks have had the same type of problem where it's like, all right, we're going to kind of try to spice things up with, like, the dice. And it's like, oh, let's do the dice. And we roll the dice, and it's like, fuck. And it's like, well, no, we're trying to, like, slowly get there, And it's like, I roll the dice again, and it's like, fuck. And it's like, oh, all right, well, you try it. And she rolls it. And it's like, fuck. It's like, whatever, fine.
I'll just do it.
Like the dice are
Lick hair.
Yeah.
encourage foreplay.
Seriously, did you look for them?
I did.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I'll have a piece having.
Yes! Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
You needed to stop it to do this?
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
So that Meg Ryan could have a fucking orgasm?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, God.
Are you trying not to hiccup or laugh?
I'll have what she's having.
Do you know who that woman is that says that?
Who?
Rob Reiner's mother.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, there was some award show, and he's like, yeah, I gave my mother the best line in cinematic
That's
history.
amazing. I'll have what she's having.
Yeah, that was Rob Reiner's mother, yeah.
Since we're going on kinks, I was having a conversation with some people at work, and this is a conversation I wasn't sure that you guys would be okay with. And need a water?
I think I'm okay.
I think she wants more wine.
I mean, just.
So
Trying to get these hiccups to go away. It's very
So I was having a conversation about eating ass at work.
I'm
I love
so
that you just
intrigued
jump into it.
by that
Eating ass at
conversation,
work or, like,
or
at
just
work?
eating ass in general.
Eating ass in general.
Mark,
And
I have a lot of opinions about that.
all right, which is great. I wasn't sure how much we were going to be able to talk about this.
Oh no! Whatever floats your boat. Like I have a lot of opinions about everything.
about eating asshole?
I mean, like
Everything
about
in
eating asshole. Unfortunately,
Keep going, because this is great.
that's knowing what I know about hygiene
Oh, wow. Asshole.
has ruined certain things for me.
Also, that's where poop lives.
Right. But like knowing how much you go to the bathroom, like, has really ruined that for me.
I have.
Wait. Talk about. Because something just dawned on me. Wait, you talking about you eating ass?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you know what's funny? I always forget that women do that too.
I had a sex life before him. You do realize that.
I do, but it's just one of those things that's like, I always. Alright.
Here's the thing. And I will say this on air too,
You are.
when I
saying
don't
it.
have the hiccups. I am a trisexual. I will try anything once.
Fair.
But the reason why I know I don't like certain things is because I've tried them, or I know too much about certain things.
Yeah.
Like having I'm so sorry. Having a degree in biology. Do you guys have any like sugar or anything?
Sugar?
Like, just.
Or I'm gonna try taking a couple of times.
So I automatically assume that with people, it's like with eating ass, I automatically assume it's a dude. Because usually that's just like, a lot of guys aren't secure enough to have their asshole eaten.
I just have no interest in it.
I remember the first time someone told me that in like high school, they was like, oh man, you ever had your ass eaten? I was like, no, I never had my ass eaten. What the fuck is wrong with you? And again, like, this is also high school Mark who didn't admit that he ate pussy. That's just how it was. So when I hear this stuff, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Then the older I got, I'm like, oh, guys actually get their asshole eaten. And I'm like,
You wouldn't let anything touch your asshole with somebody, like.
but there's a reason for that.
You wouldn't even let Ryan Reynolds touch your asshole.
That's not true.
You're definitely the top. You would let you won't let me touch your asshole. You let Ryan Reynolds touch your asshole?
That's grade A asshole touching now. I love you.
Fucking fair.
You're grade A. He's grade A plus. It's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is.
Wow. You put me down to like fucking beef meat.
What?
And I'm grade A. He's grade A.
Yeah, but who's to say that you're grade A or A
A
plus? See, and that's the thing. Like, for myself personally, in my early 20s, I considered myself a trisexual. I would try anything at least once.
Yeah.
You know? But there are certain things that I've gotten into my 30s and I've become a little more confident about what I like and what I do, and I know a little too much about the nether regions given my degree. That I know that the human body is capable of giving off more than what I'm willing to take on, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I'm nasty. I'm disgusting, and I'm pretty sure Patsy understands this. We don't really give a fuck.
It's all about cleanliness.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: like, there are so much more bacteria than you know about.
Oh, so
and
I know
as
about
far as like eating ass goes, like in my early 20s, yeah, sign me up.
Nope.
Like I would
I was a freak. I'm not like.
I would let you eat my ass like groceries.
Oh, if you want to eat my ass, fine, but I'm not eating your ass.
Well, and it's funny because I recently just watched that episode of Sex and the City where Miranda lets Marathon Man eat her ass, and but it wasn't consensual. Like, she really had no idea that it was going on, and it happened, and she was just like, "Oh, okay." Like, I kind of liked it. And then at brunch the next morning, she kind of brought it to the table, like, "Oh, hey, this is what happened." And they were all like, "Yeah, you know, like having somebody eat your ass, like that's cool and stuff." But, you know, and then Miranda kind of brought it to the table, having reciprocating. And they were all like, "Well, no, I don't think I would so much reciprocate." And later on in the episode, you know, Miranda finds herself in the she's able to reciprocate, but she doesn't, and
Because it's gross.
Yeah,
And you know, she doesn't really realize that she wants it in the first place, and she really doesn't want to reciprocate, and he's just kind of like thrusting his ass in her face, and she's like, "No, I don't want that." And that's it, and that's the end of their relationship. And I think that
That was a good one, by the way.
that was a good one. That was a loud.
I love you so much. I apologize so much.
I have the perfect episode title for this, by the way. What are you calling that?
Hiccups and eating ass?
Yes, actually, it's exactly what it is. Hiccups and booty eating.
It's on the other
But
side.
here's the thing. Like, if you are going to eat ass, it needs to be a communication between you and your partner.
Hands up.
If you want to eat your partner's ass and your partner is okay with it, then bon appetit. Like, eat that ass like groceries. Like, have at it. You know, but, you know, don't expect for reciprocation.
Here's my thing about eating ass, alright? And Patsy gave me a look, and maybe it's just me. I've been in situations where we're like, you don't have to go down there. I've been working all day, and me being the person I am, I don't really care.
Because you're gross.
Well, and see, here's the thing. Like, as somebody who has a
Degree in fucking biology.
background in biology, I know what kind of bacteria is found
All kinds.
in there.
All kinds.
I know what to expect.
I don't want your swag.
I don't want to go there.
Nope.
But there's so much more euphoria found elsewhere.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I mean, but both, you know, intentional and unintentional, you know, if that's what you want to do, then go at it. But it's super important that you and your partner have that fluid communication.
Yes.
Is that is that just with any ass play in general? Because
Yes, yes,
Stick
yes.
anything in my ass either.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Drunk me loves a good ass play. Sober me, not so much. So, you know, if drunk me is like, hey, bon appetit, like, enter at your own risk, then yeah, go for it. But if sober me is like, no entry, no entry, you know, like, you know, one-way entry zone, like,
The answer is no.
the answer is no.
Okay.
And it comes to, you know, I feel like today's porn kind of undervalues that and kind of adds a little bit of stigmatism to that, because a lot of women feel like they have to participate in anal play. And a lot of guys expect that.
Really?
And yes,
Wow.
yes. No, a lot of guys expect that. A lot of guys expect that on the menu.
Like, they expect anal on the menu.
They expect
like nowadays.
Yes.
I'm so old.
A lot of guys nowadays expect that on the menu.
Really?
But, oh, excuse me. But a lot, it's communication back and forth. And, you know, there are times when I personally am down with it, and there are times when I personally am not okay with it.
Yeah.
And
You know what's funny? I don't know if I probably shared this on the show, but I was actually having a conversation with Shannon
Yeah.
about this, and I would see what we were talking about, because some people are advocates on the male orgasm and the G-spots and the guy's butthole.
What, simulating the prostate gland.
So, and I didn't share this on the show, and I actually didn't share this with you. I was actually waiting to talk about this on the show. So, when you get a vasectomy, you have to jerk off an X amount of times before you can go. You have to ejaculate X amount of times before you can go in for your initial thing to make sure your sperm cells are dead. So I remember the first jerk off when I went on after the vasectomy, and I felt this weird like pull in my butthole, and I'm like, oh, so they weren't lying this whole time. Now, here's the thing. I remember the first time a woman touched my butthole. There was no.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't her. There was no conversation about it. There was no like. And this was one of those things where like you meet someone and you're like, hey, you know, we're gonna do this. And normally during a conversation, like, you know, hey, during a trip, you're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. You kind of have a conversation about all the stuff that goes on or whatever, right?
You have an itinerary.
Yes.
Or a menu.
Yes.
A booty eating menu.
There was no conversation about my butthole during any of this. Now, if you're a guy and you're a missionary, your asshole is exposed. Your butt's exposed. Because, like, usually your hands are doing something else, like on the wall, on the headboard, like, whatever. So your butt is exposed. So, I almost grabbed my butt cheeks. I'm like, okay, whatever. Gets closer. I'm like, okay, she's clutching or whatever. No big deal. Do my thing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, now she's in my butt cheeks. Okay, get off my butt, get off my butt cheeks, get off my asshole. And there was no warning to that.
Did you actually try to get out of your asshole?
No, I jumped and flew the fuck back. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? Oh, I thought you'd like it. I'm like, there was no conversation, and it's ruined me for any anal play from here on in the rest of my life.
right, and I think that anal play in general needs to have a conversation about it.
Yes.
you both need to be, you and your partner needs to be on the same page as to this is allowed and this is not allowed. And, I've tried this, XYZ in the past and this has been pleasurable. And I've tried XYZ in the past and it has not been pleasurable. But I think that regardless, sex in general needs to be communication.
That's an underrated thing, I think, when people was like, I always have this conversation with when they're like, oh, how do you and your wife know what you like? I'm like, because before we got married, so how do you I'm like, because we had a conversation about this shit. It wasn't like a written.
And it's a continual conversation. My husband and I constantly communicate with each other through sex, and sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative. Sometimes we both burst out laughing, and
which is funny, weird, and great all at once for your life.
Exactly, but
that's a level of comfort most people don't ever reach.
Exactly, but that's intimacy. That is intimacy that some people search for their entire lives and don't get. My partner and I, we have been together for almost 10 years, and sexually we know how to satisfy each other. And that's not to say that the same moves have satisfied each other over 10 years, but we've brought some toys into play. We've brought some ass play into play. And it's like, we know we like this, we know we don't like this.
Yes.
And ultimately it comes down to communication between you and your partner. And if you are all for ass play, and let me say, ass play is a beautiful thing, express that to your partner, and vice versa, and if you are not into it, then express it to your partner, and search for other things that you are interested in.
Why is communication okay? What's funny about that is why is it a situation where communication has turned into something taboo, where I've heard people go, well, it's uncomfortable to have that conversation. I'm like, would you rather have bad sex?
So, I think for some people it's really uncomfortable to have that. But it's usually, younger people. Realistically, I feel like it's, young people who, don't know how to approach the subject. Whereas if you're in a steady relationship with somebody, you usually can have, the sex conversation and it be okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be able to be comfortable with your partner. And I think some of it is doing things that, you may not be overly comfortable with, but, maybe your partner really wants it. Obviously not all the time, because that's not healthy. But, communication is key. Because you don't want to be like, oh, I'm a fucking stallion, and your partner's like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna go masturbate for a while.
Yeah, no, I've had that conversation with younger people, and they're like, oh, I just fake it, and I'm like, why? I've never faked an orgasm in my entire life, because I'm not gonna tell you you're doing something right if you're not.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, no, that wasn't good.
And that's the thing, I think that, I both love and abhor porn in the same breath. I love porn because it gives you an outlet. But I both abhor, especially modern porn, because it gives you unrealistic,
expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And women don't look like that, and men don't look like that.
Yeah.
And an orgasm doesn't look like that, and normal sex doesn't look like that. I can't tell you how many times I have sex with my partner that has resulted in both of us just erupting in laughter. And it's not like, oh, your member is small, ha ha ha, and oh, your tits are small, ha ha.
It's euphoric.
It's fun. Exactly, it's fun. It's us trying trying a different position that doesn't so much work for us, or us trying something that brings us out of our comfort zone.
As a fat guy in the summer, sex is not exactly the most.
As a fat guy in the summer,
sex can be very, very sweaty. I'm a fat guy.
Well, I mean, but
So,
not only
I
that,
actually have a fan that faces the bed, so it's like you get the cool breeze on the balls.
But I mean, not only that, like women have, medical conditions that prevent them from enjoying sex most often, and sometimes they just want to snuggle versus having sex, and it is what it is, and it sucks, but at the same time, like, communication between you and your partner is vital. I think that's, like, long story short, like, whether you want to indulge in ass play, which I strongly consider people to indulge in, because at times, I mean, it can be very nice.
I'm pretty sure Mark's ass would suck me in. But I stay away from the old man's ass because I don't know if you've seen it, but it's this big lump. And I call it the black hole, because it literally is the black hole. I'm pretty sure if I try to stick my finger in it, it's like my arm in, up to the elbow.
But here's the thing, you have communication with old man when,
I do.
as far as that is concerned. And I think with any married or long-term couple who are looking to advance their sexual advances, it's important to keep that communication open as far as sex is concerned. And I feel like that's something that's not addressed in porn, and that is not addressed in general. Like,
well, I think that the problem with a lot of that is like, I don't think people realize that pornography is just like Game of Thrones.
It's the fantastic version of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, porn is the epitome of a person.
I've had a good amount of sex in my life, and let me tell you, my old face has never looked like that. My vinegar stroke never looks like that.
But that's perfect, because sex is imperfect. And, you have a lot of these kids coming into sex who expect the perfection, the hairless, the O-face, the yes, oh no, oh my god, and sex is dirty, sex is messy, sex
sometimes it's awkward, and sometimes it's awkward and it's fucking dirty.
But like sex, sometimes like awkward sex means you and your partner are laughing hilariously, until you find something that works for you both. And sometimes that increases the communication between the two of you.
Right.
Like, I never thought that laughing during sex would be a positive thing, but it is, because it means that you both are enjoying yourselves and you both want to move on with each other versus like, oh, I'm laughing at you because you're awkward and I'm awkward and this isn't going anywhere. It's, I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Yeah, and I think, it's I don't know, it's funny when I hear like younger kids talk, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm like, why not? Fucking do it. Like, you're young, do it. If you don't,
Right?
if you don't,
Like,
it's difference between like being like when you're just like someone goes. I remember having conversations like, like I've heard gay people say to me, oh, you should try sex in the ass. I'm like, it's not my thing. He goes, well, how do you know you haven't tried it? I go, well, I've never hugged a cactus, but I know it's just not my thing. Like, you know what I mean? So I know the things I am and am not into. If I decide to be adventurous one day, then yeah, I'll give it a shot. But I'm also not a real adventurous guy. Like, we were just in California, and I hugged the fucking gondola like a fucking child while I was in the air. And I was, as soon as I got in, I was like, I'm not gonna like this, I'm not gonna like this, I'm not gonna. I was like, I'm not gonna like this, I'm not gonna like this. I'm hugging her to her, eyes closed, and she goes, why are you, and Maria's like, you don't have to do this. I'm like, I'm doing this because you wanted me to do it. And I'm fighting, I started tearing up because I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. But I did it because my wife wanted me to do this. So if one day my wife said to me, I want to try something that I'm not comfortable with, I would take a couple shots, I drink a couple beers, and I would just fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
But I would have to
right.
be, but it would have to be something that I know that I'm going to be comfortable with the next day. And I think people have this misconception with sex where, one, people think that you have, like, well, we're fucking.
Everything has to be perfect all the time.
Yes!
Yes!
Exactly that.
Yes!
But just
and it's not.
everything about sex is fucking awkward.
Sex is so imperfect, and especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, sex becomes more imperfect because life gets involved, you know? And it's like, oh, I have to be quiet for the kids, or I have to be quiet, you know,
We have 10 minutes,
because
there's a roast in the oven.
right, like you. No, but like that's so
It's
true.
so true.
It's so true. You know, like I have this a lot of time because I have X to do with the rest of my time.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you don't have children, you know, it's like I have, you know, X to do with this, and it sometimes it has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with your person. It has everything to do with you. You know, I have not been taking care of myself. I have not been eating well. I have not been as active as I should be.
You had a long day,
And-
like you're stressed
Right?
out.
Like I had a really shitty day at work.
Well,
You know, like I didn't sleep well, and you don't want to sexually take that out on your person.
rather not have
because
sex than have sex that is just like, oh, why did
you
we
don't
do
want
this?
mediocre, right? Like, you don't want mediocre sex, and you don't want to place that burden on this person that you love so much. You know, you don't want that person to go to sleep thinking, "Oh my God,
What did I do?
What did I do? Is he thinking of another woman? You know, am I inadequate? Am I not enough?"
Well,
You know?
even for like a guy, where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier for a guy to get off. Like, the quote Clerks.
When a girl makes a guy come, it's standard. When a guy makes a girl come, it's talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's different.
Right,
Like,
but I mean, like in a broader sense, though, like when marriage is, you know, an issue, you know, that doesn't go away. You know, like he's wanting to make sure that his wife is satisfied, whereas his wife is wanting to make sure that he is satisfied. But, you know, he has had a horrible day, so much expectation placed on him, but she also has had a horrible day with so much expectation placed on her, you know, and it goes both ways.
Right.
You know, and I feel like ass play falls into that because, you know, a lot of women feel like they need to put their ass on the platter. You know, they need to get their, you know, anal bleaching and
I'm
make
not
sure.
putting my ass on the platter. I just want you to know that.
I'm a very visual thinker.
I imagine the same thing.
Now he's not thinking about an ass on a platter.
Here you go, man.
Alfred brings it out.
No, but
Oh, yes, we have the gourmet ass.
Good news, everyone.
The gourmet ass.
you don't want your partner to feel like they need to, you know, do more to put their ass on a platter.
Yes.
Because let's face it, like it's not sanitary.
No.
You know, it's not so much desirable. So there's a lot of effort that goes into being like, hey, my bum, you know, and vice versa. You know,
I hear all that, and I'm like,
but like as a wife, you're like, you know, I don't want my husband to have to work all day and then come home and be like, oh, I need to take a shower and, you know, put myself on display to be like, oh, hey, my bottom, you know, to, you know, put that on the menu. You know,
I
and
respect that one
if
day.
you're into that, like, God bless you, but you know, it's not the end all and be all of a
Right.
long-term relationship.
No,
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
And-
You know, like at some point in my early 20s, maybe sure. Like I used to consider myself a trisexual. I would
You've
try
said this
anything
like 3
once.
times.
But like no, I realize
You've said it like 3 times.
I know I'm a little drunk right now.
That's okay.
But
Here at the old
you know,
we do not
it's
discriminate.
At all.
but at the same time, like, you know, I think it all comes down to conversation between you and your
It
partner
really is.
as to what you both are comfortable with and where you want to go.
Very true.
No, see,
Agreed.
to kind of touch a little bit on what you were saying earlier there, old man Wade, you know, it's like, oh, if you've never, you know, done it yourself, how do you know you don't like it? Well, I had a medical procedure a few years ago. I had a sigmoidoscopy, which
He
is...
knows he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't like it because he texted me through it.
Sigmoidoscopy. It's
Oh, that's
like
awful.
a colonoscopy, but you don't get knocked out and they don't go
They keep
quite
you
as...
awake.
So
Yes.
I was in there, and I'm like, all right, you know,
Fuck
and I'm a
that.
little nervous because I'm waiting for them, like, because no one ever mentioned anything about anesthetic, and so I'm laying on my side, my ass is just free
Out
to the
there.
breeze,
Asugundo.
and there's these monitors in front of me. So I'm laying on my right side, and I have all these monitors in front of me. So that's where the monitors should be, so you know the doctors can see what they're doing because they're about to put a camera up my ass. And I'm also watching like my pulse rate. And as they're coming over to me, realizing that this, you can see the camera as it's coming closer to you. You see your ass on this TV, and you don't generally see your ass. You know, it's not something you see on a daily basis, and it's getting closer and closer, and you're just like, it's like a zoom in on a horror movie, and.
He's
You're
like,
looking
oh
up-
yeah, I need to tighten that up, by the way.
And I'm looking up at the monitor, and my heart rate's going like 95, 98, 110, 120. I got up over 200 when they got it in there. They stuck the
You
camera
have
in.
to actually watch it? That's awful.
You're literally seeing, like, you're looking up and you're seeing it, and it's real time, and it's like, boop, and they're like,
I've been like, you have to give me drugs.
they're like,
you have to give me all the drugs.
You need to try and relax. I'm like, I am doing my best. I'm not enjoying this. And they're like, okay, you know, and they pull it out a little bit. They're like, all right, you're gonna feel a little discomfort. I'm like, I'm already feeling some discomfort. Like, you're in charge. You know, it's you tell us when.
You're king of the castle.
All of a sudden, now this thing was roughly the size of like a small Sharpie.
Yeah.
So it's still uncomfortable. All of a sudden, this thing balloons to like triple its size while it's inside. And I was like, nope, don't like this. And they're like, oh, just, you know, relax for a couple minutes. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm like saying this through gritted teeth. I'm sweating, and I can see inside of my body on this monitor. And they're like, all right, you know, we're done. And I was just like, when they pulled it out, I thought I like shit all over the floor. Like, that's what it felt like. And I was like, no, I didn't. Because I had been, like, drinking all the powder and everything for, like, 3
didn't,
days.
so he texted me after.
And I was like, I didn't like that at all. Like, I said, I don't understand how anyone could be gay and, like, engage in this. And, like, maybe you get used to it. I don't know. But I'm not going to find out.
So, I had a colonoscopy when I was 27.
No, it was before you dated me, I feel.
Before we dated you?
Yeah.
And I was having issues or whatever, so I went to go see. They said, oh, we have to do a colonoscopy. I'm like, all right, fine. It was like, so we're going to put you under or whatever. I was like, fine. Guy walks in, and, like, same thing. On my side, whatever. Anesthesia goes in. Knocked out. I woke up in the middle of it.
Ooh.
They still have polyp. And she has been awake when I have these, like, random, like, night terrors. And I sound like Wolverine waking up from a fucking, like, a more high-pitched Wolverine waking up from something. And I was, and I was right back to fucking sleep. And then when I ended up waking up after the procedure, the guy who started, he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I was like, "Did I wake up?" And they go, "Oh yeah, you woke up in the middle of that." I'm like, "Okay." And so they explained to me, I guess they must have sniffed the polyp and whatever. So anyway, that has been Ass Play for the Old Man Wade Show.
Yeah.
I want to thank Ashes Von Nightmare. I want to thank Patsy the Angry Nerd. If you hear a random thing over this because I hit stop instead of pause. I want to thank my lovely life, the Valkyrie. Thank you for coming there. Can you guys plug your show one more time?
Yep, Throwdown Thursday podcast. You can find us every Thursday with a new episode. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Pretty much wherever you can find podcasts, you can find ours.
What do you guys prefer? I know you guys do the Bean Sprout. Is it Bean Sprout?
Buzzsprout.
What do you guys prefer? It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter because Buzzsprout takes the RSS feed and puts it everywhere.
Very cool. Maybe I should start doing that. So the Throwdown Thursday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Every Thursday. Like I said, a little bit of everything. I love it. I subscribe, I download, and even if it's not something that I care about, I still download it anyway because you
appreciate it.
So you guys get the numbers regardless. So I want to thank you guys for coming in. We're gonna do this again. Do you guys have anything coming up that you guys want to promote?
Well, we have our RuPaul episode coming up. We have a Pride episode. We're going to be working with some comic book artists and stuff.
Nice.
That we met a lot of people at the Scaricon convention, so we're going to try to get a lot of those folks on.
Awesome.
We have some local filmmakers that are going to be coming up in August because they have a new film that's releasing called The Box. Mm-hmm. It's called It Came from 508. It came from the 508 Studios. So
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up, so stay tuned.
Yeah. Fletchbo, download it. You'll love it. He's one of my best friends and my brother actually, supporter. So I want to thank you guys for coming up. Until then.
Damn it, Wade.